Have you ever received a suspicious phone call or email? If not, chances are your parents or elderly relatives have. Police and prosecutors say scams against seniors are on the rise nationwide. Attorney Melissa Negrin-Wiener has ideas on how to spot it if your elderly parents may be in trouble and how to help protect them. She's a partner with the firm Genser, Cona Elder Law. Melissa, what should we know?
Well, they're getting increasingly more tricky. Trickier these scammers. But basically, what we see now are a lot of things on the phone and also via email. So things like lottery scams, where someone will say that there are winnings waiting for them, but they have to pay a fee or a tax first, and so of course they pay the money and then nothing forthcoming. We see grandparent scams. I don't know if you've heard about these, but this is when somebody calls the house pretending to be the grandchild and saying that they're in trouble, whether it's in jail or they're away on vacation and something happened. Again, looking for money. So the scammers are playing on the seniors' fears, which is really the most disturbing part. And unfortunately, they get very frazzled and scared, and they fall for these things. So. We're seeing a lot of it with our clients, a lot of people coming in, and the children just realizing that the bank account is down hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Some of the other reasons for seniors, are they more trusting? Are they perhaps gullible? More so than other generations?
Yeah, I think also it's an issue of perhaps being lonely. There are these romance scams going on as well, where someone will really just, call or email, and the seniors are, they're lonely. They like the companionship. They like to have someone to talk to, and then they start to really believe that these people are in love with them. And the money part comes in with, when they finally say they want to take a trip here to the United States to meet the person, and they send them money to do so, and then that's the end of it. So I think it's loneliness. I think it's maybe a little bit of just, more easily frightened.
Yeah. We're speaking with Melissa Negrin-Wiener. She's an attorney and partner with Genser Cona Elder Law in New York. We're talking about senior scams. Do you find, and kind of my fingers are crossed as I ask this, do you find that there's more awareness, or is the problem getting worse?
Like I said, I think that, everybody is getting a little bit more high tech, and so they're able to now spoof the telephone number. So they might say that they're the IRS or Social Security calling. That's another big one, which we always tell people, Social Security, IRS, they will never call you. They only communicate by mail. They're not going to email you. They're not going to call you. They're not going to come to your door. But again, they're able to spoof the phone numbers, so it does seem very real. So I think it's getting worse because of the technology. But we're really trying to educate people. We tell clients all the time, and when we go out and do seminars, it's so important to have a power of attorney, because then, if it's the adult child as the power of attorney, they can look into the bank statements. Every once in a while, they can check in on what's going on. We also tell people during the holiday season that's coming up, if you're going and visiting an elderly relative that you don't see all the time, take a look at the mail, see what's going on. If they're getting a lot of sweepstakes things, they might have already been, targeted by somebody.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there's some things to watch out for.
Good tip. This generation generally doesn't, make those things public, not public, but it doesn't share those types of personal finance things with family. How do you start that conversation?
Oh, that's a great question. So, yeah, just as part of our general estate plan, we start the conversation with just naming somebody to handle your financial affairs if something happens to you, whether it's, an illness or an accident or something like that someone can step in and make sure your bills are paid and make sure nothing, goes wrong.
Yeah.
The lights don't get turned off, those types of things. And, when they reach a certain point, I find with my clients, when they reach a certain point, they do feel comfortable knowing that they will have somebody, to kind of back them up if something happens. So it doesn't usually meet that much pushback.
Thanks, Melissa. Attorney Melissa Negrin-Wiener with Genser Cona Elder Law in New York. 20 minutes now in front of the hour.